novels, Seraphim and the Dust Plague, Thermonuclear Mirth and the Holdout, alongside the Historical War Catholic Confederates, and the book of essays, the Hippo Lectures. This is what these books look like. So the novel, The Holdout, the Civil War History, Catholic Confederates, the book of essays, the Hippo Lectures, the novella Seraphim and the Dust Plague, and the 900-page novel Thermonuclear Mirth, The End of the World, but Not Just Yet. Mark and Nano Models, my 6th book, will be out sometime soon. When it is, I will make a separate video talking about it, showing you the cover, all of those kind of things per usual. As to why this short story you're about to hear was recorded on the beach in front of the ocean on Florida's Atlantic coast. As you've already seen from the beginning of this video, there are a few reasons. Number one, of course, the play on words, the deluge, the flood. What more appropriate setting when talking about flood terminology, a massive amount of water, than the Atlantic Ocean right there in the background. Also, the story itself deals with the over-commercialization of the National Football League, but you can say professional sports in general, and all types of media. There is a cacophony of noise, way too much stuff, way too many links, and check this out and do this, and brought to you by blank in our society. When I'm reading the story and you can hear the literal churning of the waves, which is a very, very pleasant sound, but makes it a little bit hard to hear, there's a kind of intentionality there. Can you make out my story? Can you hear what I'm saying amidst the background noise? And there's a kind of a little joke there in a certain sense of the literal background noise of the ocean behind my reading you the story to match the story itself, which once more is this kind of parody of the over-commercialization of, we can even say, our society writ large. Final reason why I recorded this on the beach on Florida's Atlantic coast is it's cool. People, I don't know, they crack their head, they worry about it too much, coming up with some kind of profound, deep reason for all things. Oh, it's got to be this, it's got to be that, oh, blah, 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 blah. It's awesome. It's awesome to read a story on the beach. How often do you get that kind of opportunity? It's one thing already, to get a story done, to get it out there. That's a great accomplishment. Good for you. If you've ever written a story, that's cool enough, and gotten it published. That's wonderful. But being able to read it on the beach, I mean, most beaches too are too populated for that kind of thing. This beach happened to be kind of like a ghost town beach. It's awesome. Midweek, no one's there. And so, yeah, you can just kind of set up the camera and read the story, which would not be a possibility if you're in the classic kind of think, Jersey beaches of mid-July where it's one person next to another and that kind of thing. So just a very cool opportunity. Ghost town beach, no one there, just the ocean, deluge, haha. And it's just a very, very beautiful setting. So, without further ado, this is the short story, The Deluge, which was published in Adelaide Literary Magazine, November of 2017. We'd like to extend a special welcome to any viewers joining us following that wild conclusion to the Atlanta-Carolina game. What a finish, huh, Bob? That's right, Schenectady. Wild, more like hog wild if you ask me. Schenectady, tourism made easy, nods and laughs. A hog wild finish indeed, Bob. Remember, folks, if you need that one-of-a-kind glossy sheen for your outdoor deck, hogwildfinish.com is the place for you. Hogwildfinish.com, the official deck stain depot of the NFL. Looks like you got a good one brewing here too, Bob says. No doubt about it. And when you find yourself in need of a good brew, don't forget to check out Sudsy Gordo's, the official beverage retailer of the NFL. Sudsy Gordo's, brought to you by the Anheuser-Busch Coors Miller Pabst Yingling Imitation Chimay Cooperative. So, Schenectady says before pausing to catch his breath and exhale. Fourth quarter, and it's a close one. The visiting Kraft Packers of Green Bay lead the Winnie the Pooh remade cartoon classic Bears of Chicago 17-13. The WPs have the ball on the Kraft 26-yard line, 2 timeouts left, and just about to come out of the 2-minute warning. Speaking of warnings, folks, don't wait until Black Friday to get all your holiday shopping done. Get the Yuletide automatic pocket siren today. Set your timer and forget about it. The apps will activate exactly 36 hours before Black Friday, giving you that friendly reminder that it's time to beat the holiday rush. Let the apps zap you when it's time for shopping. you focus on couch plopping. Yuletide Automatic Pocket Siren, official sponsor of 2-Minute Warning. Here we go, Bob says, giddily rubbing his hands together as the teams retake the field. This is shaping up to be one heck of a hog-wild finish, if you ask me. Absolutely, Schenectady says. Winnie the Pooh U.S. Department of the Treasury quarterback Milt Peralta hasn't been his usual self. The two-time NFL MVP, brought to you by ADP, your local Scranton portal to the great beyond, has completed less than half his passes today and thrown 2 interceptions. But if there's one thing we've learned about Peralta, it's that he responds well to adversity and performs his best under pressure. Just like the new and improved gold-plated duplex double yummy pressure cooker, the offhand, and Johnson is tackled at the Kraft 19-yard line. Peralta made a really good decision there, Bob says. He recognized that Kraft is playing Tampa 2, brought to you by the Tampa 2 Buccaneers of Tampa Bay, and made the proper check down to Johnson. Now it's 2nd and 3, and they've got the whole playbook to work with. With that last completion, the Winnie the Poohs are into the red zone for just the 2nd time today. The red zone, brought to you by Red Zone Canine Pacification Services. When your pooch goes into the red zone, it's time to punt. Mark us at 1-800-PSYCHO-SALIVA. Peralta's pass falls incomplete. He was looking for Willard on a fade to the back of the end zone. Looks like the extra crispy bacon company football just got away from him there. That's exactly it, Bob says. Peralta has an absolutely fantastic arm and hammer arm, but sometimes he forgets about touch. Plus, the conditions here at G.I. Joe Field have been typically difficult, with occasional driving gust and wind, making throwing and kicking a complete crapshoot. Schenectady looks at his partner. He is silent. He just keeps staring at Bob. After a brief pause, Bob remembers. He throws his head back and nods. The wind, brought to you by Febreze Air Effects, official meteorological sponsor of the National Football League and half of the CFL. While Bob is speaking, the WPs pick up 11 yards and halfback draw, 1st and goal at the Kraft 8-yard line. Chicago takes its 2nd time out. You know, Schenectady says, Peralta's arm and hammer arm is fantastic, like you said. But I like to see him utilize his legs a bit more, especially down here so close to the goal line. Which leg? Both, Schenectady says. His left leg, sponsored by Kicking the Pants Homeschooling Services for Delinquent Children, and that right leg, too, brought to you by Right as Rain Hydraulic Rental Systems. If he ever finds a way to combine the talents of those 2 legs, well, the league better watch out. I was just thinking this game is really looking like it's going to come down to a true hog-wild finish, Bob says. Shotgun snap. Peralta rolls to his right. He looks, he keeps rolling, he throws it out of the back of the end zone. 2nd down. Bob, I have breaking news. I have just received a notice from my agent that the city of Schenectady has sold my naming rights to Jonathan Portable Waste Disposal Management Services. Partner, he says with a chuckle, you can call me Johnny Porto, effective immediately. Bob laughs. No, come to think of it, I think that name suits you best. Well, I'll be. Not since you were the Adam's Apple of Gracjan's cream spokesman, Redneck Kakalaka, have I heard a name that suits you so well. Congratulations, my friend. 2-yard gain up the middle by the WP running back, 3rd and goal at the 6. Well, thanks, Bob, Johnny says. Another exciting news, folks, it just so happens to be 3rd and goal with less than 2 minutes left in the game. You know what that means. The game stops, the TV cameras cut from the field. Everyone focuses on the booth, and the players look up. Bob, his hands tied behind his back, sticks his face into a large canary yellow washing bin filled to the brim with root beer. He is hunting 3 red delicious specimens that have been plopped in, causing some soda to lap out over the sides and pool and foaming puddle around the base of his microphone. There's a special scoreboard in every NFL stadium for this moment. The timer counts down for 1 minute. If the man formerly known as Derek Smith can retrieve all 3 apples from the liquid, every fan physically in attendance at an NFL game that week receives a packet of coupons to the great Oregon Yakima Apple Company. The Goyak is America's #1 distributor of produce, not simply pomme, but also pomme de terre and so much, and pays Smith, a 2-time All-American linebacker in college before becoming a 5-time Pro Bowler in the league, and now America's favorite color commentator, more than $20 million a year for his name change and involvement in the 4th quarter apple cart, which Goyak claims has led to a 23% increase in overall sales since the game's inception 4 years ago. Bobbingham pulls out apple number 3 with 0:04 left in the clock. The crowd roars. They rise to their feet. Johnny unties Bob's hands. Bob stands and waves to the cheering crowd. The game resumes shortly thereafter. On third down, WP's run a trick play, a halfback toss, running his way, a halfback pass. Running back sells it well. No one is open. Pump fakes, stumbles, tucks and runs down the sideline before getting blown up by the free safety at the 5-yard line. He careens through the air and crashes hard into a cameraman who pays the price for reaching ever closer to the field to that photo of your potential shot. The WPs take their final timeout in advance of the 4th down try. Now that's a good hit, Bob says. He knows, connecting Johnny. I just keep watching this game and I gotta say, brother, we're in for a hog wild finish. It's really come down to the wire, folks, Johnny says. 4th down, 4-point Kraft lead. The Winnie the Blues have got to try to get all the clean, wheat, gold, and organic honey here. Field goal won't help. Need help with your homework, kids? Check out OnlineTeacherBuddy.com, official educational sponsor of the NFL. 11 seconds left in the game. Let's see what they're going to try to do. And when you really want to see what anyone's going to do, run over to Clear Vision Warehouse, the official eye care sponsor of the NFL. They break the huddle. Peralta is in the shotgun, flanked by 2 running backs. Willard split out wide left. Speaking of left, too much turkey left over? Why don't you, Peralta, change the play? He puts Dennison in motion down to the slot. The NFL slot brought to you by Vegas Slots for Tots. 10 seconds in the play clock. Speaking of clocks, how about an antique, modern Peralta and changing the play again? 5, 4, here we go. Peralta looks left. He shuffles to his left again. Here comes Smith on the quarterback blitz. Peralta gets away. Smith just whiffed on the sack. Peralta is still moving to his left. He looks, he's scrambling, looking downfield. The game clock reads triple zeros. As such, hundreds of fireworks brought to you by 60-yard heave in the end zone fireworks. When it's time to chuck, light it up and duck. Official pyrotechnic of the NFL are going off above the stadium as the usually green Astro play undergoes metamorphosis into flashing hot pink while the stadium speakers blare DJ Frankie Scott Kizzle's chart-topping remix of the Star Spangled Banner. All as Peralta finally sets his feet and lightly flicks the bacon over a leaping defender's outstretched hands as another crashes hard into his thighs, knocking him down. The pass is intended for Willard, who is blanketed by 2 defenders, all 3 of them heading for the back pylon, tracking the floating pass, neither a tight spiral nor a duck, against a resplendent, although bothersome fireworks display. Above an equally distracting, spastic pink field at their feet that keeps flashing on and off, on and off, on and off. The 3 players leap simultaneously as the ball appears in reach. Out of the corner of his eye, Willard sees something else. Just for a split second, but that's enough. WPs are on the cutting edge of post-game entertainment. For 2 seasons now, after every home game, they flood G.I. Joe Field and recreate famous naval battles from history. The Battle of Naxos is scheduled for today, but after the game, it's supposed to be after the game. Willard takes his eye off the bacon for that crucial moment, his eye drawn across the field in the far end zone, where someone, or perhaps it's just a malfunction, has jumped the gun. The fireworks keep popping. The music keeps thumping. The azure water crashes out from the tunnel with terrifying speed. The football falls softly to the ground, untouched.